Welcome for Tuesday to Morning in the Mountains. The rest of our show is just ahead, but let's take a quick look at traffic. Anytime we ever have snow, you'll want to make sure that you are aware of the National Park road closings, and they can close at any time. And that especially is true for 441 Newfound Gap Road between Cherokee and Gatlinburg. Anytime there's snow or ice, look for a closure there, and that's usually open again as soon as the weather warms back up again. Otherwise, in the National Park, we do have some of our seasonal road closings, including Klingman's Dome Road. That's going to be closed on November 30th. Also, the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail closes November 25th. On the highways, on 129 Alcoa Highway, a couple construction projects still going on there if you take the back ways into the Smoky Mountains. And 407, that exit off of 40, heading towards 66, it's going to be slow, especially in the afternoon and even sometimes in the early morning hours. That's a look at traffic. Now let's check in with Kira and Savannah.
Good morning, it's Kira with Morning in the Mountains, and I'm here with Jim with Rocky Top Tours. Now, we got to go on a really special tour today. Now, what was the name of the tour?
Smoky Mountain Special.
Smoky Mountain Special. And then do you have this tour year long, or is it just seasonal?
It's just seasonal.
Just seasonal. So when can people take this tour?
It's on Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Awesome. And then, so with the tour that we took today, we just saw some beautiful bears. There was a mama bear and her 2 or 3 baby cubs. It was hard to tell because they were so tiny and dark. But, so you've been a tour guide for 40 years, right?
Going on 40.
Going on 40. And then, how often do you see like bear jams with all these people stop to see the bears?
Not very often at all.
Not very often?
This year I've seen maybe 10 bears and I'm up here all the time.
Really? So are they starting to become like an endangered species, or are they just moving away?
The park's doing a good job of managing them.
Okay.
If they start causing trouble, they'll haul them off, and that way they won't become accustomed to people's food.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, don't feed the bears.
Don't feed the bear.
What are some other good tips for people whenever like they encounter a bear or something like that?
If you run into a bear, you can't outrun it. Just stand your ground, make yourself look as big as possible, and make a lot of noise. And that should run him off.
Scare him off. Okay, well thank you, Jim. Now how can people take this tour with you all?
Just call 865-429-8687 and we'll book you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jim with Rocky Top Tours. Now back to you guys.
Thank you for watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. I'm Frank Murphy with Rich Haley, filling in for Robert Ownby. Jim Johnson back from his birthday. And Brad Lovett getting ready for his birthday on Saturday. So post-birthday for Jim, that was yesterday. And yours is coming up on Saturday.
That's correct.
Very nice. All right. So it is a Tuesday, an exciting 2 for Tuesday here in November. What do you got for us, Brad?
Well, you may have heard Ray Stevens' song. He made it most famous anyway, Mississippi Squirrel Revival.
You know, I thought I knew all the Ray Stevens songs, but I guess I only know The Streak. And now I realize I'm thinking of Jim Stafford. So I was like,
we must attend.
That's the same guy.
We must attend to your education.
I thought I knew more Ray Stevens songs. Wait, there was some that, well, all right.
Everything is Beautiful.
I knew that one.
There you go.
Okay, I got 2.
Mr. Businessman was one he did back in the day.
That's still 2.
And then that one about squirrels.
Guitar Zan.
Guitar
Oh,
Zan.
that's
yeah.
3.
Who could forget Guitar Zan?
That's
Well,
Bridget
everybody.
the Midget.
That's still 3.
Wow. I'm surprised. You guys know a lot about this guy.
Well, in Mississippi Squirrel Revival, the story, I've also heard people sing it at a Southern Gospel event. And this is about a squirrel that got loose in a church and in the first self-righteous church of Pascagoula or something like that. And
were they squirrel handlers at this church?
Amen. Not this one. You'll have to look that up on YouTube.
Sure.
I can't describe it as
Obviously.
well as. Yes. Well, very obviously.
Yes,
Alrighty.
obviously, we need to look that up. It could be worth your time. Go
Yes.
to YouTube. Check that out.
Spend 3 minutes of your life. It'll be the best 3 minutes you spent today. Maybe.
During those 3 minutes.
Yeah, we want you to finish watching our show on YouTube first.
Yeah.
Then you
Yes.
can go watch this other one. Yeah.
Well, the real life version happened at a real life church in Alabama. A squirrel came crashing through a window with a cape.
A cape?
I made that up.
Oh.
Super squirrel.
You did that
come
so
crashing
well.
through a window.
It did.
Because I now pictured a prankster on the outside of the stained glass
Whooping a squirrel through the window.
putting a cape on a squirrel and throwing him through the window. That's what I pictured.
Well, the incident took place at Vestavia Hills United Methodist Church, and a TV station in that area reported the squirrel entered through a stained glass window, triggering startled cries from church members and interrupting the service. Now, Senior Pastor Bill Brunson, you can see a video of him, he used humor to keep the congregation calm and entertained, while that furry interloper was ushered out of the church.
Furry interloper.
By the usher.
He broke the window.
Broke the window.
He must have been trying to get away from something pretty bad.
Must have been.
Something must have really bad been happening in Squirrel World on the outside of that church.
Now, the pastor joked the squirrel was encouraging members to get a little bit more spiritual than usual. At one point, a collection plate was used in an attempt to corral that squirrel, drawing chuckles from the pastor. And he says, I feel like we're now trying to trap it with an offering plate. I like the fact we're doing that. The church members with squirrel capturing skills were asked to help with the hunt, and that squirrel was safely evicted and shown the door, and the service continued.
How?
They didn't even baptize him?
Not sure about that.
All right. Okay.
I never had a story like that happen in my life, but I did work at a TV station where we had birds during the newscast.
Sure, birds get in that. Oh, wow. Into the studio?
Into the studio, yes.
Ooh. Yeah, because you have to be careful.
Yeah, that's true.
And they don't roost up there and drop on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
would not
So
be
they're
good.
just flying around. They're doing the noon news, and it's
That's crazy. There's a local station in Knoxville that has had a bat fly around in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's interesting. Okay.
righty. Now, this is Giving Tuesday, and we help with some of the charities and get the word out. SMARM is the Smoky Mountain Area Rescue Ministries. They're accepting donations of new and gently used clean winter coats for Winter Coat Day, and that happens in December. And there's a phone number you can call, 865-908-3153, 865-908-3153 with questions. And they also have a Christmas Kids Project and accepting donations for children who will be accepted into that program.
Oh, that's nice.
And registration for SMART's Christmas Kids program is going to be held on December 9th through 13th from 9 a.m. to noon each day. And
Those are for
can-
families in need
families
who
in
want to
need,
sign
yes.
up to receive the donations that SMARM collects.
That would be correct, yes.
Lovely.
And you'll want to, at that time, bring a valid ID, children's names, sizes, and interest to that appointment. This Saturday, Toys for Tots Car Show. I can celebrate my birthday at that, possibly. That's going to be presented by the East Tennessee Breakfast Club. It's coming up on Saturday at the Quaker Steak and Lube from 10 to 3. That's the one here at Parkway and Collier Drive.
I like the way you say lube.
All makes and models of hot rods, muscle cars, pickups, rat rods are welcome, and gifts must be unwrapped for ages 1 to 10, and no stuffed animals, please. Door prizes will be awarded during that event, and if you cannot attend, you can drop off your toys at Big Boys Toys next to Smoky Mountain Knife Works or at Precision Rod and Custom.
Is that because stuffed animals are just hard to maintain? You don't know if they got germs on them. They really
Right.
have to be like basically brand new shrink wrapped from the store before you can use them as a donation or something.
I believe there is a state law about that.
That makes sense.
And I think we found that out during the wildfire donations. Things could not be taken.
So these are lessons learned from those
Yes.
rods there. Oh, interesting. All right, I hadn't really thought about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Makes
Ready?
sense.
All right. Well, we'd love to save you money, so you can use that extra saving to give donations to great charities through the course of the holiday season. When you're coming to the Smoky Mountains and you know you're going to go see a great ride or go to a great attraction like Anakista or one of the others, let us save you money on tickets. Call us at 865-978-1152, and we'll give you our Mountain Fun Life Best Deals, which are regular tickets to these attractions at less than face value because we get them at a discount and we pass the savings along to you without any hassle whatsoever. You can find out more as you watch the course of the show for details, right? I guess that's it, yeah. Anyway, we'll have those details coming right up on Morning in the Mountains here on the Mountain Fun Live channel. Brad Lovett is here, Jim Johnson is here, Rich Haley is here, and I'm Frank Murphy. Stick around for more. You're watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy, and we're delighted to welcome back Steve Ellis from HikeTheSmokies.com. Thanks for coming back to visit us again.
Appreciate you having me.
Now, you are an expert in hiking the Smokies, or you've made yourself an expert because you love it. You're an outdoorsman.
I'm a student. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 4.5 years.
That's what a true expert says, by the way, because a true expert understands that they still have a lot to learn.
Yes, I do it with great humility. There are people who have huge amounts of experience, have been out in those hills much longer than I have, but I do everything I can to do everything as safely as possible and be as well read about bear behavior and survival skills, that sort of thing, so that I'm equipped.
In your hiking, whether it was just you on your own or whether it was with as a tour guide where someone would pay you to take them on a trip, what are some of the most spectacular animals you've seen? Because I noticed on your website you actually even offer a photo safari type hike.
Yes, the elk are always amazing to watch, especially
They're big.
Right now. They're kind of getting out of their rooting time where they become hostile and aggressive.
Yeah.
But that's a magnificent animal. That's like 3 times the size of a deer.
And these are the ones that were released or repopulated in North Carolina, and they've kind of worked their way over to Tennessee?
Well, they actually, yes.
Or both?
Exactly. Yeah, they brought them into the other side of the park, Cataloochee and the Oconaluftee areas.
Yeah.
So you'll find them grazing out there in the fields. If not, some days it's hit or miss. You could be there and they're all up in the woods. You can't find them.
Okay.
So yeah, and they've been coming over. They came as close as Gatlinburg. I think I was the first one to spot one close to Gatlinburg last year.
That's amazing.
And then they've moved over to Cades Cove in Wares Valley.
That's the elk. Now, we've had so many bear stories. In fact, we love talking about bear stories on Morning in the Mountains because some of these bears, I make a joke that it's going to be Planet of the Bears because they're opening car doors and they're eating garbage and they're getting into hotels and they're doing all the things that makes it sound like they're taking over. But in reality, it's just that they get spoiled eating human food. So you have to be respectful of nature and respectful of the bears.
Yes, I'm told that we have the highest bear population that we've ever had
We're winning.
in the national park.
We are winning.
So there used to be an average of 1,800. Now they're saying more than that.
Wow. I just like to win.
And I carry bear spray all the time, but I doubt I'll ever need it for the bears. I think I'll probably need to use it for tourists that get the bears in trouble.
What does bear spray smell like?
Oh, it doesn't have a smell.
What does it do? What is bear spray?
Well, I had it go off in my car one day when I was going to meet some hikers. So
okay.
So it makes you cry. It makes you cry.
So it's like tear gas.
It is a tear gas, yeah.
And you spray it to make the bears sad?
It has capsaicin pepper in it. So you don't want to spray your backpack or your tent to keep a bear away because then it smells good and he thinks it's food.
But a basic pepper spray like you would use to repel an attacker is what you're doing in that case if the bear starts to come
this one
at you.
shoots about 30 feet, so it's a tall can. It's formulated just for bears, so the capsaicin level is very high.
Yeah.
So mine went off in my car, and it was hissing behind me, and I had to reach back and turn it off. My backpack had flipped over when I almost had a wreck. And, and it gassed me, so I rolled the windows down to my eyes.
You need to pull
everything's
over.
dripping. Everything's dripping, so you don't want to do it.
It clears the sinuses.
You don't want to do it. But like I said, the bears I'm probably never going to need it on. It's the tourists that are getting our bears in trouble. That I'll probably need to protect the bears with it.
You've got a good point. We see these videos on the local news of people who are obviously too close to the bear.
Yes.
And in many of these situations, the bear has to be captured and either moved
over to probably to Catalucci, or sometimes in very sad circumstances the bear needs to be
Well,
put down.
they're finding now that to move the bears is just as deadly as shooting them, because the bear then will come back and cross the alpha male bear territories and probably get killed by an alpha male.
Oh man!
So now they can't even really move them. So they usually have to put them down, and then they give the meat away to charity. So it goes to a good cause. There's a lot of bears out there, so it's not.
I didn't know you could eat bear meat.
Oh yeah.
I thought you wouldn't. I thought you. Well, why would you eat bear meat?
Well,
Because
it's good food. I
it's
guess.
edible. Okay. I guess I thought of bears as predators, and I never thought of eating a predator.
Well, and you can eat the wild boar too. from what I understand.
Good point.
Which are probably I fear the wild boar more than I do bears.
That's wild bacon when you have a wild boar.
And the bears love bacon. You would think there wouldn't be a bunch of wild boar running around.
But if they're hard to catch.
The rangers used to actually use a hibachi in the back of their pickup truck to attract a bear that's being a problem in a campground. They would actually cook some bacon, and that would lure the bear in. But for some reason, we have a high pig population. I can't figure that out. But
there's so many jokes.
But
there are so many jokes.
The crazy fememale boars, you've got to be careful of. They are much more hostile than a black bear.
Again, I'm biting my tongue at this point, because we're talking about in the woods, not in the city.
Yes.
All right.
Some things can be a boar and some things can be a pig. So.
Right, I hear you. Well, I appreciate your comment. So what's the best way for us to get in touch with you, Steve Ellis, and take a hike in the Smokies?
Well, you can go to hikethesmokies.com, my website. That's SMOKYS.com, hikethesmokies.com.
Great.
And that's usually the best way to do it. You can see a bunch of pictures.
And the different types of tours that are offered, whether you want to do the photo safari or the waterfalls or just the basic beginner hike or the more advanced and so on.
Yeah, and I do a hike that's just thoroughly customized. I have a family come to me and said, I've got some young children. They're not really up for hiking to this or that. What can we do? And I put that together for them. So.
Good. Well, I like it, because I'm that guy who would just park the car and get in trouble. So I need
I'll be rescuing you.
some guidance. No, not I'll do it right. I'm not stupid. Not that stupid.
So you're going to call me?
That's what I'll have to before I go hiking,
go.
or else I just won't go.
You bet.
It's either call you or don't go. Those are my two options at this point. All right. Thank you very much, Steve Ellis.
Thank you.
All right, you're watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. I'm Frank Murphy. We'll be back with more right after this.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like, the most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there.
Now here's your look at the weather forecast here on Mountain Fun Life and Morning in the Mountains. Some sun, some clouds, and some of that will depend where exactly in the Smoky Mountains you are. As you head up in the elevation, you might find more clouds and more sunshine near the attractions, but we'll hold those temperatures in the upper 50s today and down into the upper 30s tonight. And if you're heading into the higher elevations, look for about a 10-degree drop as quite a possibility in that area as well. The rest of the week, we're going to be right around the upper 50s and low 60s here in the valley, and we're talking either upper 30s, low 40s for our lows, and there is a chance of a shower about any day. And have a great weekend. I'm Brad Lovett, and this is Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel.
You're watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel this Tuesday the 19th. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy, Rich Haley filling in for Robert Owenby, and Brad Lovett and Jim Johnson. I don't know why I said them in that order, but that's what came out of my mouth, so I'm going with it.
Works. It works. Those are our names.
Yes, I'm Frank Murphy. How about
I'm
that?
so glad you remember our names. Sometimes I need help
I'm
remembering
reasonably
mine.
good at remembering names. Reasonably good.
You are very good at remembering names.
People sometimes
man.
get surprised.
You shocked me.
There was a lady who came up to me at church on Sunday, and
she says she heard me talking to apparently her sister. I didn't know this. I'm talking to someone. I mean, being introduced to a new husband and wife team, and this third woman comes around the corner and says, "Frank, it's me, Patrice. Do you remember me?" And my mind's clicking as quick as possible because I only know, I think, 3 Patrices in the entire universe. One of them is a guy, so I've eliminated him. So that leaves the other 2, and I'm about to go with the wrong one. And then she says the rest of it. She says, it all clicks. I'm like, I haven't seen her in 15 years.
Yeah.
Wow. But then I told her all the things we did together 15 years ago, and she's like, "How do you remember all that?" Like, well, because it was a TV show called Warehouse Warriors. It was fun.
Yeah, there's always association trying to remember.
Yeah.
It's like opening up the filing cabinet.
So Patrice Shallow, thanks for watching.
I watch you do that.
Watch the Rolodex clicking?
Yeah, when the Silverbow folks were here.
Yes.
You met all 3 of them, you arranged their names in alphabetical order, you made a pattern out of it, and then you remembered it.
Oh, yeah. Well, which set were here? Because we had multiple sets. We had the set of Michael, Tara, and Lucky, and then the other day we had a different set, but it was still Michael and Lucky were both here.
Yeah.
But then, I'm going to draw a blank now. Bailey was the girl, and the other guy who sang the Thai tenor. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
It'll click.
It'll click.
It'll just come out in about 5 minutes. Be like,
Tick, tick,
Bill!
tick, tick, tick. All right, well, I've just spent 2 minutes of Brad's news time talking about my memory skills. Brad.
Very good. Very good at it.
What do you
I like
got
it.
for us today, Brad?
I'm not sure I remember now. No, I'm just kidding.
We're on the second news segment of the Tuesday, November 19th program. How about that?
There you go. All righty. Did want to talk about, since we're coming up upon the holiday season, about some of the charitable events and things you can participate in.
Mm-hmm.
That includes SMARM, the Smoky Mountain
Jonathan.
Area
His name is
Rescue.
Jonathan.
I told you. It would just come out. It was just going to come out. I told you. It was just come out. Jonathan! There, you got it.
Right? That was it, wasn't it?
Yes.
All right. Because he was
funny.
sitting over there. He was sitting where Brad was.
Oh, gosh, I love it.
That's righty.
I knew it was going to happen. It's just amazing.
But anyway, SMARM is the Smoky Mountain Area Rescue Ministries. They're collecting new and gently used clean winter coats for their Winter Coat Day. And their website, by the way, is smarm.org, SMARM.org, and you can pretty much find all the information that you need about that. Also, the Christmas Kids Project, whether you want to be a donor or whether you want to be a recipient, and they'll be taking those applications starting December 9th from 9 to noon each day. Now,
That's in person, the applications?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
You'll need to bring
That's
an
actually,
ID.
it's easier for folks who are in need of those type of things. I mean, it's actually much easier to just show up because, we've been in media long enough, that you encounter a family in need and you say, oh, you go on the website and sign up. They're like, yeah, right, if I had internet.
Right.
Yeah. So this makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. But you will have to make an appointment to come in. It is by appointment. Now, this Saturday, it's the Toys for Tots Car Show 2019. And that is going to be sponsored by the East Tennessee Breakfast Club. I need to join a breakfast club.
Oh,
Breakfast
because
Club
Molly
sounds like a
Ringwald
lot
will be
of-
there and Judd Nelson.
I'm not sure about that.
No?
But we'll check in.
Wrong Breakfast Club.
But this Saturday, November 23rd, and a rain
All of
date.
Sevier County, all of the Smoky Mountains is a giant breakfast club.
Yes, it is.
That's what we are. We like our pancakes, and we like our bacon.
Yes.
Pancakes are the East Tennessee State's breakfast food.
They're the best. Yeah.
Or flapjacks. Saturday, November 23rd. Rain date is Sunday, November 24th, and that's at Quaker Steak and Lube, 10 to 3, and that's the one located at the Parkway and Collier Drive area or corner in where Mr. Gotti's used to be in Sevierville. All makes and models of hot rods, muscle cars, pickups, rat rods.
You're allowed
are
to say
welcome.
hot rods, muscle cars.
Hot rods, yeah, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, say it that way. It's fun.
All gifts must be unwrapped for ages 1 to 10, and no stuffed animals. Door prizes will be awarded during that event as well. And
we're not talking about actual black bears that have eaten too much for the winter. We're talking about the toy stuffed animals.
the toy stuffed animals, yes.
Glad you cleared that up.
They
Right.
need to be new if you're going to donate
So
those.
just don't mess with it. Give them money and let them go buy one.
Yes. And if you cannot attend, you can drop off your toys at Big Boys Toys. That is next to Smoky Mountain Knife Works or Precision Rod and Custom.
Excellent. All right. Well, great things happening in and around. Thank you for that. I always love charity involvement. We cracked a couple of jokes about it, but those are excellent causes that we hope you'll support. You're watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. We're on each weekday at this time. And you can also get our Mountain Fun Life Best Deals any day, just give us a call at 865-978-1152. So that way, whenever you're coming to visit us in the Smokies, I know a lot of folks coming for Thanksgiving, maybe you're one of those planning a Thanksgiving weekend here, why pay full price on attractions when we can save you money? Call 865-978-1152. It's Morning in the Mountains for Brad Levitt and Jim Johnson and Rich Haley. I'm Frank Murphy. We'll be back with more coming right up after this.
Good morning. This is Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. I'm Brad Levitt along with Rich Haley, and we have a new era for the Lady Vols, a new coach, a new era, following in the footsteps of Pat Summitt. And what's been happening?
It's actually been going very well for Kelly Harper, and I still try to call her Kelly Jolly, but it's Coach Harper now. And she's gotten her team off to a great start, and I'm sure most of you watched the victory over Notre Dame. And that was an amazing game to watch. The game before that, they seemed to have a little bit of trouble, and that was Central Arkansas. They won the game easily, but they looked confused on the court. They had some problems rebounding. They took some pretty sad shots, and all in all, they just didn't really look ready for prime time. That completely changed against Notre Dame. They came out and dominated from the beginning, on their way to that 74-63 win. One of the more amazing things about the game was their rebounding. If I remember right, they limited Notre Dame to 3 offensive rebounds for the entire game. And that really was the difference. They shot well from the field, and of course, Renia Davis had a standout game, 33 points. So the Lady Vols were hitting on all cylinders and did a great job against Notre Dame. Now, their competition this week is not quite of the same caliber. They're going up against the Stetson Hatters.
The Stetson Hatters.
The Stetson Hatters. And if you wonder how they got that nickname, I'm sure we can figure that out.
Okay. Google is your... But you're going to keep me in suspense and make me go to Google before I figure this out.
That's right. So the Stetson Hatters are in DeLand, Florida. They're playing here locally. Game time is at 7 o'clock. And this is an easy prediction. I'm predicting a Lady Vols win. So that's our big story for today.
All right, that sounds good. And we'll be back with more tomorrow and more of the show coming up. And for Rich Haley, I'm Brad Levitt. This is Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut.
Type 2, take 2.
Action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself, to look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
Thank you for watching Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life, on Roku, on YouTube, on Facebook. And thank you so much to all our new viewers for discovering us. We have more and more of you each and every day, each and every week. So thanks a lot for spreading the word for us.
It's nice to see a whole lot of people like it.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. We do like it when you like us.
Yeah, that's true. And also share us.
I wish we could like the likes,
Share.
because we would totally do that. If we could like the likes, we would like the likes.
That
But
might happen.
We can love the likes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway, we love it when you do it. And if you have a suggestion for someplace we should visit, let's say you and your family always go to the whatever attraction,
Yes.
like the Salt and Pepper Shaker Museum is an example of a place we visited. It's a little off the beaten path, but that was awesome. So thank you for suggesting stuff like that. I know that was actually Andrea Luden who owns it, but still, one of our viewers suggested, hey, you should visit the Salt and Pepper Shaker Museum. And we're like, oh, who owns that? She says, I do.
That was so cool. You know, the interesting thing about that is when you found out that the 2 holes in the salt shaker. I'd always thought the same thing. I always thought the 3 was for the salt.
My whole family has been putting the salt in the shaker that gives you heart disease instead of the shaker that gives you less salt.
Right. Saying, well, unless it's got an S and a P on there, maybe you didn't know which one goes where.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
But
anyway, so thank you, Andrea, for watching and spreading the word. And we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Morning in the Mountains. Same time at Facebook, 9 a.m. on Facebook Live, archived on Roku and YouTube. For Brad Lovett, Jim Johnson, Rich Haley, I'm Frank Murphy. We'll talk to you tomorrow.